Hi, I am new to here or any social media. I hate social media, but I am going to try this site. So, here I go. For a couple months my wife and I have been on and off. First, I thought it was life. I run a small company and she works a couple days a week. We have 3 kids, all under the age of 10. So needless to say, life was stressful. So, my wife to relieve her stress would live at her gym. But it started to be more and more and something was off. This is not your normal gym. It has pools, a hotel and 3 floors of gym and a restaurant. It's a small city sort of. Something in my gut told me something was off, but I wasn't sure if it was me or what. But finally, about 5 weeks ago I did something I have never done in my 13 years of marriage. I grabbed her phone while she was in the shower, and all my fears came to life and hit smack square in the face. I still remember what I was wearing and what I made for breakfast that day. I found text under deleted text. Yes, if you have iPhone. When you delete it, it does not fully delete. You can go to top left corner and click on a drop-down menu, and there are shows at the bottom recover deleted text. Well, I found a text thread between my wife and her coworker, and it was filled with all these selfies and text from a man I have never seen before. It was her telling her friend at work how crazy she is about this guy she met at the gym, so she sent screenshots and photos to her friend. I then found love letters from him to her, then text and selfies. It just didn't stop. Apparently, both had been talking about how crazy they are for each other, and they didn't know what to do for months. So here we are 5 weeks later, and we are worse off than when I first found out. I have lost 20 pounds and sleep maybe 4 hours a night. My company has suffered, and my kids know something is wrong. We are seeking counseling and trying to move on. She swears she's sorry and she does and says the right things most of the time, but she still defends the guys like he was a good guy in an awful marriage. She also has never told me what they discussed or much else. She deflects, probably thinking I'll divorce her, I guess, if she's honest. She then began to say she did this because our marriage wasn't great, which I disagree to a point. We had issues, but I loved her and respected her, gave her everything she wanted. She carried on the affair for at least 3 months. I think it was more than 5 months. I knew something was up when she got a boob job 8 months ago, then started buying tons of smaller and smaller workout attire, got in super good shape. Then what finally set me off was when she would wear makeup to work out. She wanted this man, and he wanted her. They did not give a crap about their families or what hornet's nest would open. The text I saw from her to her friend would send most into a deep depression, which I may be in myself, I don't know. But I do know this, I am miserable and dying inside. We have tried to keep it together of the kids, but it's impossible at this point. So, I have decided to step away for a couple months. A friend has a nice place on the beach that he never uses. So, I am staying home for Christmas, then heading out. So here is my question. Has anyone in here done this, where they found out, stayed and tried to make it work, then realized it's going to take a massive amount of time, then come the conclusion that taking time away is not only a good health choice, but also time to clear your head? If you have, and you are already past to the point and returned home to make it tear and work, how did it go? What should I expect? Plus, I simply do not trust my wife one bit. So, if I leave, maybe she'll want to be with the other guy or want me. I don't know, it's not a game. But I have no idea what she really wants in life. So, any advice is welcomed. Thank you for your time. This is the hardest thing I have ever dealt with in my life. The absolute hardest. My love for my wife has never wavered. Ever. I forgot to add that she says it was just an emotional thing with this guy, and not sexual. I have no idea or proof that she slept with the guy, but emotional affair is worse more, I think. But from the text I discovered, they were pretty darn close to sleeping together. Comment, you are in the right place. You will get great advice here. At present, it does not sound like your wife is reconciliation material. It all has to start with her being open and fully truthful. Until she is, you have no chance. She must also be 100% no contact with her affair partner. Speaking of whom, you should find his wife and tell her what has been going on. Keep posting here. Original poster, thanks. I wish I could post the birthday love letter he wrote her I found. It's bananas. She also says she's being honest. But when she says she's forgotten their conversations, we all know that's bogus. The other day I asked her, what did you talk about with this guy? She said, I honestly don't remember. Not buying that rubbish. I want to thank everyone for all the kind words. I have been reading this a lot. I saw a friend who told me this, that I need to stop being a detective and focus on being a surgeon. Detectives keep investigating and surgeons heal a patient no matter what they have done. Trying to be the surgeon is literally the hardest thing I have tried to do in my entire life. To this day, she swears there was nothing physical, but honestly, I do not believe anything she says. She says all the right things, but it's very hard for me to believe her when he wrote her a birthday card stating he loved her and so happy they found each other, and looking forward to an exciting and bright future. And yes, he said love Jay. In fact, the title of the card was Happy Birthday with Love to My Wish Come True. I mean, how does a married man of two jeopardize everything for a married woman with 3 kids of her own? She tells me to this day she never fell for him and that she only confided in another man. This boiled my blood. It is not the truth. No man sends cards like that and no married woman texts like she did to her friend, all to only say she confided in him, and that is where she blew it. We finally found a new therapist, so I am hoping we can discuss this with a third party present. I have made notes in my phone for weeks about that meeting. This was by far the worst Christmas I have ever encountered, but I held strong through it. Deep down, I feel she is still in contact with him. Deep down, I'm not stupid. I was going to leave for a couple months, but then I did talk to an attorney and he said not to leave. Not good, as many have stated in here as to why. I think also what this is coming down to is that I am looking more to God and his comfort while watching her grow away from the Lord. She has showed no wanting to allow him to work in here. Nothing. I think in time, this relationship may fade. In fact, I am starting to grow apart from her. Sure, we have had some intimate moments, but it's fake to me, shallow. It's almost like sleeping with a gal in college that does not mean much, and we are just casually dating knowing we are seeing other people. I don't know. Honestly, I have never been so confused and up and down in my entire life. This will take time, lots of it. I love this woman so much, and the hardest part is trying to guard my heart while still trying to work on fixing things. Again, thank you all for your advice. Comment: need to stop being a detective and focus on being a surgeon. Detectives keep investigating and surgeons heal a patient no matter what they have done. Yup, surgeons also investigate the root cause of the ailment and work out the most optimal way to treat it that will ensure recovery and life expectancy. A man who consorted to be with your wife and you haven't talked to him, nor his wife, and you still think your wife is on contact with him. So, what are you healing? Original poster: I have someone looking for his wife. Apparently, the guy quit the gym. My wife refuses to give me his last name or anything else, although I have not pressed her. The reason I have not pressed her is when I did tell her some time ago I'm going to hand her the letter her husband wrote my wife. My wife flipped out. She said, why would you want to destroy their kids' lives? I then said, so I guess it's okay that he assisted in hurting ours. Anyways, I'm not buying her rubbish. Her replies made me very upset. So, I just figured at that point that I need to get a pie. Also, many in here are saying I need to get a STD test, although I can see the point. I'd rather break out in whatever than tell her about it. I know, crazy, but it is what it is. So, I have some people looking into finding him and her. Mainly, I am trying to find his wife. This guy has no social media either, or neither do I, but friends of mine do and have been searching for this info that go to that same gym. All I know is that guy works in sports marketing and his wife works in administration in some elementary school. That's all I have had to go on. But I will find his wife and hand her the letter he wrote my wife. I cannot tell you how many times in my head I have gone over what I would say to her. She deserves to know. If I see this guy, I could end up in prison. But the issue is, when I keep thinking like this, I am back to the detective stage and not being the surgeon. I am hoping the third party brings to light the root problem of how we got here, and why this all happened. I can't tell you how much this all sucks. My company has suffered, my health has suffered, my sleep has suffered. But the one thing I think is doing okay is really the only thing that matters to me, and that is my 3 babies. They seem happy.